No. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the diner. Serves as a reminder to count your blessings, 'cause it's telling fair, They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, it's the ugly truth, how they come back for you. Yeah, yeah, no. Don't you think you're better off where the neighbors don't stare? Maybe you're wanted, looking good for the movie screens, living in make-believe, hoping your wishes get granted. I know you never giving up unless it's real. A slippery slope, it's not enough to please you. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the diner. Serves as a reminder to count your blessings, 'cause it's telling fair, They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, that's the ugly truth, how they come back for you. Yeah, yeah, let's go. It's the missed opportunity train, it only comes on a very blue moon. You blinked twice, and you missed it again. Waiting in line for the party to end. Guess you didn't get what they asked for. Not a genie in sight, that reality castle. There's no point to being careful. Learn the rules of the game before you lose your mental. Pretty Carolina, the stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the diner. It serves as a reminder to count your blessings, 'cause this town ain't fair. They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, that's the ugly truth, how they come back for you. Yeah, yeah,
Hello? There it is. Okay, wait. Seriously, this is the fun part. And I swear to you guys, I did the best intro I've probably ever done in my whole life. Oh. Oh boy. Well, thanks for hanging in and watching me talk to myself for a while. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I know you can hear me now. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Jess. I appreciate it. All right, cool. Thank you guys. All right, I'm going to do this again. Ready? What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today, I've got something extra special for you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to cut a curtain fringe. We're going to do it on dry hair. A lot of times when I cut a fringe on my guests, I do it on their dry hair because I can see how the hair reacts and I can kind of react to that as well. So we're going to have some fun. I want to share with you guys this technique. If you're new to these videos, type new in the comments. And if you're an OG, you've been watching my videos for a long time, type OG as well. And you guys know the drill. If anybody has questions during this live or this video, if you have a question, just post it in the comments. Type Q, put in your question. That way I know it's a question. And if you're an OG, if you could help me out by answering some of those questions. If you guys know it's just a basic answer, help me out. You guys have been watching this for a long time. A lot of things get repetitive. The website, the app, all of that. Make sure you can just shout it out in the comments, and that would help me out. So I see all the new people. Trust me, I'm not always soundless at the beginning. OGs, you guys know I do mess up sometimes. It happens. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Happy Tuesday. If you guys are in the U.S., hope you guys had a good Memorial Day weekend. And that's pretty much it. So we're back to the lives. I've got Brian coming up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We're doing a Zoom class. It's going to be a color class, how to highlight short hair. And then we have Danielle doing some really fun techniques. I'm not even sure if I fully understand Danielle's technique for Thursday. I'm excited to learn it along with you guys. So that is going to be on short hair, short curly hair as well, on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. on Zoom. So if you guys want to be a part of those classes, the only way to do it is to go to freesaloneducation.com, sign up for an account, and you can hit count me in on those classes after you make your free profile, and then you'll get a reminder on the class. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I see all of you guys in the chat. It's very cool to have all of you here. Let's get started. I'm going to pop over to the mannequin head here and break down what we're going to be doing. So this is beautiful hair color. Brian did this in his one of his last classes. It's got a nice layered haircut to it. So what I want to do is I want to open up the face with a nice curtain fringe. So you guys can see kind of how when you open this up and you expand it out, how it just brightens up the face. And then obviously when the hair all falls on her face, she needs a little volume. So what I want to do is just open this up, brighten that up a little bit, add a little bit of movement, a little bit of height. So you can also see when I look at hair or my clients' bone structure on their face, right here, right at the cheekbone. I can't keep my fingers level there. Right here on the cheekbone, this is kind of where I want that height to build up. So I want to open it up and I want to pull up some of that height there. That's what I love about a curtain fringe because it kind of does that for me. So it builds that volume and it's easy for my guests to recreate that when they go home and they have to do their hair themselves. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. It's a really simple technique. Do you get notified? So Jess is asking, do you get notified when people click on count me in? Because I click so fast every time I get a bit nervous about it. I do not. So if it makes you feel better, I don't get, at this point, a notification every time somebody says count me in. I don't even get a number stat yet on how many people are counted in. So that'll be coming in the future, but it won't be based on an individual. It will be based on a number. So you're good to go. I like that you count in so quickly. Kameli, is that how you say your name? Watched you on YouTube for years. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Been on YouTube for years. Feels like years at this point, but it's still fun. I love that I get to call this my job. Patty, what's up? Good to see you. I love the color. Karen, I do too. Brian did a great job on this color. Let's see. Missy, thank you. I appreciate that. Finally caught alive. Natasha, welcome. Glad you're here. I'm glad you hung in through the you couldn't hear me part. I'm going to see people saying I can't hear you 100 times because they're going to be behind. So I'm just going to see that all day now for the rest of my life. But that's okay. Chrissy, what's up? Hey, good to see you. All right, cool. Thanks for your expertise. Please address not only face shape, but hairlines too. For sure, Susan. That's great. All right, so as I go through this, I will be talking about face shape a little bit, and I'll also be talking about the hairline, and that's going to be the first part of this cut. So let me zoom in on the doll head here. Hopefully get this focus working here. All right, let me pop over. It's going to be the day for this today. Just need to reset the camera. So I'm going to break this down in a second, guys, but I just need to get the camera to turn on and refocus here. There we go. All right. Let me go back to it. Okay. Those of you guys that are new to these classes as well, you've probably follow me on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll notice that I post a lot of shorter length videos, not just these live classes. Those shorter length videos come from these live classes. So if you like the shorter length style, you're welcome to just watch those. I appreciate you being here for the live. The reason we do these live is so that you can ask questions. We can be more interactive, have some fun over the next hour, and just kind of go through things, and we don't have to speed through it. Some people like to learn that way. Some people like to be involved. I'm all about building this as a community, so this is kind of our community gatherings a few days a week. But I understand that some people just like to get the information and go. So this will be out as a shorter video later on. What's up, Adele? It's Adele's birthday? Yesterday was my birthday. Awesome. Happy birthday, Adele. Everybody say happy birthday to Adele in the comments. She's an OG. All right. So we're going to cut this curtain fringe. Now, here's a couple things, couple tips about this. Here's the hairline here. That's where we're going to take our sectioning. So what I want to do is I want to follow this hairline up. I'm using a wide tooth comb at this point because I don't like to pull on the hair too much, and I don't need a lot of tension when I cut dry hair. So I go up from this point up to create the first line in this triangle section that I'm going to be creating in the hair. Right here. I'll twist that, just lightly twist it, and I'm going to slide a clip up underneath just to hold it out of the way. So we're following the hairline up through to this top point of the head, right where the head starts to curve from that fringe area. Lorraine, thank you so much. Can this be for fine hair as well? Absolutely. This is a great technique for, the reason I like doing it on dry hair is because when you have different hair densities, it's better to do it on dry hair so you know exactly how much hair you're taking out. There's some parts of this technique that I would adjust for fine hair, and I'll talk about that as I go. So again, straight up from the hairline here, I'm going to go up to this to complete the triangle section. There we go. Twist it lightly, clip it away. So I got two triangles here, making one big triangle. Let me go to the top view. All right, so she's facing forward. Here's the bridge of her nose. I've got my two triangles. So it comes from this point here all the way down the hairline. You just follow the hairline down, and then you split it with the middle part, and then you get your two triangles in the haircut. So really simple. Now, I'm going to take out the left-hand side section, just like that. And I'll just slide my clip up here. Now what I want to do, this is going to be condensed cutting as well. So we did some condensed cutting last week. This week I want to do kind of the same thing because we're going to do this cut in 2 sections. So the basics of this cut. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this hair not to the center bridge of the nose. I want to pull it past to the other eyebrow, to the edge of the other eyebrow. That's where I'm going to cut it. My fingers are going to be parallel to the wall. Right? So as I come over here, I'm holding the hair out and my fingers will be parallel to the wall and I'm over directing it over to the other eyebrow. So I want to show you guys from multiple angles here. So out from the head, here, just over the nose, but then bring it to the edge of the eyebrow. What is that doing? That's creating over-direction. What over-direction does is it removes, when you over-direct, you cut the hair here, but it pulls hair from further away. So this hair that's sitting right here on the hairline is going to be the longest point. So what that's going to do is it's going to be shortest up here, going to a longer point, which will create that kind of open curtain fringe look. We're going to do that same on both sides. Now, if I like to do point cutting, because I want to break up the line and I want to create a soft line. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling all this hair over here to the edge of the eyebrow here. And that's where I'm going to start my cut. So right here in front of me, and then I'll start cutting. So I'm point cutting. Now I'm going to shift her just so that you guys get a different angle. So here, I'm not changing anything, guys. I just shift so that you guys can see a little better. Notice the over direction. So like that. Then when I let this go, it's going to create, so you see that already? That kick, a little bit of layering in there so it makes it nice and light, but it kicks open off of the face, just like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tie this into the hair over there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So I let out this triangle. Clip that away. And now I'm going to bring this hair over to me on the opposite side of the chair. Over to above the eyebrow on this side. So I'm actually going to push it away because I like cutting from the bottom to the top. So as long as you can be aware of your over direction, this will be a good angle. So see how I'm bringing it over, right above the eyebrow over here. I'm going to go through and point cut my line. Just like that. So when I drop it down, we get a short to long line in there. All right. I'll let this side out. So you can see that curtain fringe start to open up. Now I can decide, how do I want, is it light enough? Does it still feel a little bit heavy? If it felt a little bit heavy, I can always take into some of this fringe and just do a little bit deeper point cutting into it to soften it up. What I want to do is I'm going to iron it a little bit just to get it under control. So I'll grab my Paul Mitchell Neuro smoothing iron. Do you use any guide for the second side? So, SMO, let me break this down just a little bit. The guide is the edge of the eyebrow, right? So a lot of times we take guides from other pieces of hair, but for me, in this cut, to keep balance on the face, I use the face as a guide on each side. So the edge of the eyebrow on both sides of the head is where I brought each section to. So the left side, I brought to the right eyebrow. The left side, I brought to the left eyebrow. Or the right side, I brought to the left eyebrow, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how we worked it through. Now, I'm going to take slight diagonal parting. I've got my iron here. Just going to give it a little soft bevel on the ends. Kind of bringing it over to that eyebrow again. It's a little style tip for them as well. Because if you twist the hair and pull it this way and bend it that way, when you comb it back, it's going to flip and open up. So I'll just continue working through. So Kel's asking, can you do this on someone with thin hair? 100%. What I might do is instead, and I'll actually show you guys that, because this was a little bit more of a layered version, so great for thick to medium length hair. So you see how that opens up like that? I would do less elevation, so I'll talk about that in a second. Thank you, you just taught me something. Joey, that's what it's all about. So diagonal, bring this over to me. And just don't curl it, just wrap it like you're wrapping it around the face and let it set and cool. Again, grab another piece, just like that. Wrap it around the face and let it set and cool. One last little bit, same thing. Okay. So now when I comb it back over, opens up on the face. And you got a nice curtain fringe, and you do it in a matter of seconds. I used to be scared to cut fringes, now I own them. That's right, Jess. Good call. That's what it's all about. All right, so if I had fine hair, let me break this down real quick. Just the differences, because this is for definitely thick to medium, perfect technique. Fine hair, still good, but it might be a little bit light, a little more layered feeling. So what I would do is, instead of keeping it parallel to the wall, I'd go more parallel to the floor, but bring that hair to the edge of the eyebrow still. Same thing. It'll give you a little bit more density. The higher you lift the hair, the more layered it gets, the more weight is removed. The lower you hold the hair, the more weight you build up. So, depending on the outcome, you could always cut it parallel to the floor like this. So let's say, let me move this over. Let's say I take this hair here, this whole triangle, right? Because we took an entire triangle from the hairline. And instead of like going parallel to the floor or to the wall like this, you just bring your hand like this and cut it at this angle here. This will give you a little bit less or a little bit lower elevation, a little less layering throughout the section. So it'll fall a little bit heavier with a little bit more weight. Can you use this technique for side swept bangs and change the part? Jules, you absolutely can. It's so funny because I was going to showcase this technique today with doing a side part first, but people are so anti-side part that I just didn't. But yeah, you could definitely, and see how that opens up her face and right at the cheekbone, right? We talked about that. It's kind of my favorite part to open up there. Same thing here. Just fold the hair over, a little bit of spray. Get it out of her eyes for the internet. For the internet to see. Go. Nice little curtain fringe. Kel, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Pretty simple technique, right, guys? I know this was a quick one, but it's kind of what it's all about. So let me show you guys a couple different angles here. There you go. Nice little curtain fringe. Does anybody have any questions about that? I know this was a quick one. Go here. Does anybody have any questions about the technique? I can see you guys in the chat. Type Q, put in your question. You can even ask any hair question you want because I'm going to dedicate another five minutes or so to just doing a little hair Q&A because this was a shorter live class. I want to hang with you guys for a little bit longer, especially because I talked to you guys with the sound off for the first 5 minutes. So also, I want to say before we get into the Q&A, before I start answering your guys' questions, let me let them load up. This class, all these classes are sponsored by MinervaBeauty.com. We're live on their Facebook as well. So please, if you can, go give them a look. If you're looking for salon furniture, anything like that, salon equipment, they're the best in the business. They got everything you could possibly think of. And at great affordable prices. They're based right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in Monroe. They have a huge warehouse. I'm sure everything's open there at this point. I think it's been open there. But you can go visit, I think. Call them first. But you can go visit, check out their warehouse, check out the equipment, get a look for yourself. My entire salon is furnished using Minerva Beauty furniture. I'll show you guys my chairs, actually. While we're here. These are new. I probably would have picked these, but this is my chair right here in this color. This is the chairs that we have at my salon. We have a white base. So let me see. I don't know if you can pick the... Oh yeah, right here. So we have the white base. This is exactly what they look like. So we did those in our salon. Beautiful chairs. So yeah. So if you guys are looking for salon equipment, go follow them on Instagram at Minerva Beauty, and you'll get a ton of inspiration and different ideas. All right. Let's see what questions we have. So Smo says, what about curly hair curtain fringe? Is it more chin length curtain for curly hair? I don't think it's chin length. What I would do if they had curly hair, depending on the amount of curl, the level of curl, if it's wavy, then I'd just go a little bit longer because my goal would be to get that hair right at the, let me show you guys. My goal is to always get the hair right about this cheekbone and expanding out here. That I think helps kind of with the face shape. So if she had curly hair, I'd probably cut it maybe a little bit. Why can't my fingers stay balanced there? I'd cut it more in the jawline area, but then it would shrink up, obviously, and the curl would kind of build up and expand there. So my goal would be to have that curl kind of hit. Another reason why you would probably want to cut this hair dry, right? So the reason I would go dry with curly hair is 100% so that I could see exactly what that curl was going to do. Johnny, what's up? Good to see you. I think we could do this even better with the TriRazor. Maybe I should show you guys how to do it with the TriRazor. What do you think? Type yes in the chat if you want to see that. I'll do it with the TriRazor for you guys if you want. I don't like just doing things with the TriRazor because I don't want people to feel like I'm just trying to sell it, but it is really awesome and easy to do this with it. All right, some more questions here. You guys can let me know in the chat if I start seeing some yeses. Then I'll do another one. I have more mannequins here, so I can show you guys another version. Great lesson. Thank you. I'm about to cut my bangs tonight. Holly, good luck with that. Good luck. Do not mess them up. I'm an OG, don't usually chat. You got to chat. That's what it's all about. You guys got to chat. My recommendation is don't try to cut your own bangs. The good thing is you're only really screwing up your face if you mess them up. You're not hurting anyone else. So I guess it's up to you. But my professional recommendation is not to. And if you do, send me a picture. Maybe we can do like or video it and send it to me, because maybe we can do I could give you tips off of that. That would be pretty funny, I think. Let's see. How can you rehydrate coarse chemical hair? So, Michelle, it's a great question. I think the biggest thing for chemically treated hair is to just see what it's lacking, right? So just looking at, does it feel dry and brittle? Then it's probably more moisture-based. If you notice that it's, and I'm not a chemical expert, I'm more of a cutting guy, but, make sure that you use Olaplex always on your hair if you can, or a bond protector, bond builder. That will help with any breakage or anything like that can happen. Hair masks are good. Sometimes people feel like their hair is dry, but it's really just got some buildup on it. So doing a good clarifier and then a mask at least once a week, that's always a good recommendation. And then just don't over protein your hair and don't over moisturize. So just making sure that you have a good balance. Don't just use one thing all the time. Hair is made up of multiple things, so it needs protein, it needs moisture. So just make sure you do a little bit of both. And that's about it. Most of the time you can find, like with, let's say, Paul Mitchell, because that's what I use in the salon. If my client's blonde, then the blonde line is usually my go-to for the daily. And then I look at, well, if I'm going to give her protein for the week, then I want to make sure she has moisture on the weekends, like that kind of thing. So just making sure that you're constantly flipping things around and doing some deep conditioning when they have a little extra time, like on the weekend, that kind of thing. How can you make my hair grow faster? Robbie, eat healthy, I think is probably the best thing. I don't believe in the pills, even though a lot of people do, and some people I'm very close to do. I don't know. I'm sure there are pills that would maybe make your hair grow, but I wouldn't take them. But eating healthy, I do know, can make your hair stronger. It can make it, obviously sun is good, vitamin D. So, things like that. I think we could do this even better. Okay, now we're at the thing. And I see a bunch of yeses. Yes, 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 cool. Dry, yes. Dry cut for wavy too. Yes, dry cut for wavy too for sure, Smell. If I want it to fringe all the way up and down the sides, would I do the same method? If I want it to fringe, I'm guessing like a face frame would be, I think, what Margaret's asking. Yes. So if you wanted to, let me click over. If you wanted to have this kind of fringe go through all through the sides, that section that we brought over to the eyebrow, you would just continue bringing the rest of the hair over, and that'll give you a face frame. Or you could just hold it out and layer it this way. But if you wanted it to kind of wrap and keep some weight into the back, then all you do is just take, you got your triangle here that we brought everything to the eyebrow. Then when you move into this part of the hair, you could even section it from behind the ear, pull it all the way to the eyebrow, and then that'll give you face frame as well. Okay, what else we got here? Sell it, that thing is awesome. Well, thanks, Kel, I appreciate it. I do want to sell it, obviously, and those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, this is the TriRazor. So it's a tool that we have patent pending. I'm very aware at this point, based on comments, that 20 years ago, somebody made a triangular razor, but it's not the same thing. This we designed from scratch with our own ideas in mind. I've since looked up that old razor, and it's just not the same thing. It is a triangle, though. So great minds think alike. I don't know. But this thing, TriRazor, 100% cutting, 25, 50. I took all my favorite tools, put them into a triangle shape. You can pop the top off of it and then change out the blades that are inside. There's 3 different blades. When you purchase it, it's $39.95. You can purchase it. It comes in this nice little box with a pack of 5 blades and then 3 inside. So you get 8 blades total. If you want to buy more blades, you can get them on Shop FSE, which is our online store. Also, freesaloneducation.com. You can find the shop there. And on our app, you can also shop from the app as well. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to cut this with the TriRazor, which is really simple. Let me just grab a mannequin here. Just got to find one with a long enough fringe, which you'd think would be easy, but all right, this girl's pretty good. Okay, and I apologize, guys, because this was not part of the plan, but I will get this mannequin set up for you all, and we will do this together. So let me pop to. She had a rough night last night. She celebrating, I guess. Celebrating the fact she's going to get a curtain fringe today. All right. Comb this down. She's already kind of got a fringe, but longer. We're going to cut it a little shorter. And I can see the chat, guys, so if you do have questions, just post them. Do you deliver to the UK, the TriRazor? Yeah, so we deliver worldwide, guys. So it takes a little bit longer because it's shipped directly from us. We pack them all ourselves. Well, not even me. My wife, Christina, she handles a lot of the shipping. My son sometimes helps pack things. So it comes directly from us, literally from our hands. This is going to be a straighter version. She's hungover. Yes, Kel, she is. This one. Matt, for changing things up on the fly. That's literally my go-to. I never have a problem changing things up. Except for my outfits. They're the same every day. If you look in my closet, I have about 50 of the same black t-shirt, 10 of the same hoodie, buy the same brand of jeans, and I wear white Vans. Every day. Every day. And I have this hat in a bunch of colors, which you guys have probably noticed. Random off topic. I'm horrible with scissor cutting, like palm to palm around the head. My dexterity just isn't very built up. What would you recommend to remedy this? Aaron, that's a great question. I'll show you a couple things I used to do in beauty school, sometimes still do them. I think something they don't teach in beauty school ever, and they should, is the relationship between your hands and your tools. So if you don't have to think about these tools, then you can think about your haircut more. But when you're constantly thinking about how I should hold everything and all of that, then you got to think too much. So you're not thinking about the other things that you need to think about, which is the shape and your guideline and all of that stuff, body position. So you really got to be careful. Lost all my hair due to the chemo, radiation treatments is regrown. At first really curly, then naturally blonde. The curls have slowly grown out, but I'm left with more lifeless hair and split ends. which usually gets knotted up. So Linda, hope everything's good. Here's the thing. So I definitely know I've had clients that have been through chemo and their hair is definitely different texture. Some, like you're saying, it went curly. That happens. It's softer sometimes. So I think the biggest thing, and this is kind of what I was talking about with the person that asked how they make their hair grow faster. Things that go into your body leave through your skin, nails, and hair. So your body reacts to, it's kind of why when people don't eat enough or they're sick, your hair can like start falling out a little bit. Different things happen. And I'm not an expert, guys, on all this. I just obviously am around hair a lot, so we learn things. But so I'm sharing it with you. But everything leaves through skin, nails, and hair. So especially like when you get chemotherapy, all that stuff's going to be leaving, through all of that, the same channels. So I think it reacts your hair a lot. Plus, you lose your hair. So with that being said, I think the biggest thing for me is to create texture. So try to, if you have a softer feeling of the hair, try to create some different texture within the cut. I even think might be a good idea, depending on how the length of your hair. If you have shorter hair and you're doing a shorter style, a lot of point cutting, maybe a little bit of razor cutting, things that will make the texture kind of pop, and it'll give you a little bit more fullness to your hair. If you think about like when you color short hair blonde, and if you have fine hair and all of a sudden it feels thicker because that hair has been kind of blown out a little bit, that's kind of the thought process there. Then as it grows out, obviously just keep it a nice clean cut, maybe some layers, still a little point cutting, that kind of thing, and you should be good. Let's see. Before you show him, are you going to show how to hold the scissors? Because I'm really trying to explain that, and I want to know if I was right. Sorry. Yes, Jess. So, all right, a couple things. So the scissors, I want to talk about a couple exercises that I like to do. I'm actually going to use a silver, something longer. Here we go. All right, so forget the name that we were going with here, but let's talk about scissor, how to get better at holding your scissors. So this is obviously could be its own video all in itself, but here's the thing. So a couple things I like to do when I was in beauty school to get better at using my scissors and kind of palming them and things like that we were talking about. So I would also like to say that for some reason, State Board doesn't love when you palm your scissor. Not really sure why. For me, it's much safer as I'm combing hair and holding it to keep the blade tucked in my hand like this, as opposed to like this and working through and cutting. You're not going to hurt. Everybody gets good at everything, so it's not that big of a deal. But for me, I like to tuck it. Now, one thing that for me, to get better and more confident at this motion, I start with first palming the scissor, which is this kind of motion here. So I hold the scissor here, spin it out, cut. Back to my palm. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my pointer finger, I'm moving my pinky out of the way. That's why I like to have a short, small tang on my scissor. All the Matt Beck scissors have that short tang. So I move my pinky out of the way, and then I push with my pointer finger and catch it with my pinky back here. So now I have the scissor in my hand. When I want to bring the scissor back, I flip it out. So I kind of swing it. So I just swing it, I release my pinky, and I swing the scissor around. So now you can work to just get good at this. And then you have your scissor, you can just kind of work on getting comfortable with that scissor in your hand. Like, see how it kind of flips open every once in a while? So now it flips open, and I have a little move that I can get it shut without it cutting me. So that's another thing that as you work through, I can just kind of feel when the scissor opens, right? So then, once I have that part down, right? Once I have that part down, then I add the comb in. And I just pass the comb back and forth from hand to hand. So it's here, comb, here, comb. And this to me, this kind of stuff is kind of silly. But like back when I was 21 and I was in hair school, this was, I thought it was super cool. So now it's just, it's silly. But I'm glad that I did it so much because I would just sit, watch TV or do whatever, even driving to beauty school. And I would, just kind of work on this. Obviously, one hand on the wheel, right? But then you add the comb when you get sat. So then once I got that, then I would practice point cutting. So passing the scissor over and point cutting here. So just being able to just kind of point cut and have that steady blade brush my finger and cut down onto my hand like this. And then that way I got comfortable with the motion of point cutting the hair. Then I would move into cutting a straight line across my hands, right? So just coming through here and working this. So once you start doing all these different exercises, it becomes more like you don't think about it because you do this and work through it, right? So nice little magic show, yeah. So that's like, as you're working the scissor, you just get more comfortable with it. Now, is this good for your scissors? I don't really know. So don't, this isn't in the recommended, notes for your scissor. But for me, it's fine. I've been cutting hair for a long time. My scissors seem to stay pretty sharp. But just like that. So you see how it kicked open? I can't kick it open on purpose. But when it kicks open, I just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and then it shuts itself. That's probably the part that's not good on your scissor. But there it is. Also, I guess, do not practice with your best expensive shear. Probably not. That's probably the best idea is not to. I would even work on like this if you just work on cutting over and over and over again, moving your hand. Now, obviously, it's an exercise thing. Your wrist, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to bend your wrist too much. So for me, like, this isn't carpal tunnel because I'm not moving my wrist. I'm just moving my fingers. I think it's a good exercise. This part here, it does pinch in a little bit. So this could be longevity-wise, maybe not the smartest thing. But when I was in beauty school, I would take regular scissors, like paper cutting scissors, and I would just kind of work my hand because I wanted to get quicker at. There was actually a technique that I saw back in the day. I think Takashi was the hair cutter that did it. But he would take some hair like this, and when he would point cut, it was literally like a tap on the hair like this. So it was such a fast point cut, and I just loved it. So like you can see when I go in there, cutting quite a bit of hair, but you're literally tapping onto your hand. So it's not open and close, it's a quick tap. I wanted to get faster at that. So what I would do is I would take regular scissors. It was a little bit harder to open and close. And I would just work on building up the rhythm and the strength in my hand. She's how he removes discipline, and she's teaching cutting too. So I didn't invent this stuff, guys. So, maybe the effort put into learning it is unique. I don't know. But, I've watched a lot of people my whole career. It's now been almost 17 years doing this, which seems crazy. But, I watched a lot of people, and, everybody kind of has their own little tricks. And I take the ones I like and I add them to what I do. I did do this in a video 7 years ago. Yes. So this is the new version. 7 years ago was when I thought it was cool to do it. And now today, a little bit different. It only has like 500 views. Yeah, because no one cares about this stuff. That's the thing. So it's another reason why I like these live classes and the Zoom classes, because This would be a better Zoom class because the internet doesn't like this stuff. Some people like it, but the internet as a whole, as a world, does not like it. They have tension grips you could try too. I think that's a great idea, Noel. It's tension grips. You can kind of work your fingers. Guitar players do use them, and it just helps build up your finger strength. It's a good one. Very cool. All right, let me show you guys how to cut it with a TriRazor now that we've gone over all this scissor stuff. I didn't even get this thing smoothed out to my liking, but that's okay. Life goes on. Let me find the center part. Now, remember, if you guys remember, if you can remember, how we took our sectioning, we're going to do it exactly the same. So right here, find your hairline, right? So we'll go over here, and I'll draw my line straight down the hairline, just like that. I'm going to clip this back and away. So you can see hairline straight up to the top here. Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Finding the hairline. Take a couple tries there. Let's see. Clip is so far away. Can I get it? Okay. So there we go. So now we've got our big triangle. Like that. I'm going to take and cut that in half. One more clip. Twist it. Clip it out of the way. Here is the edge of the eyebrow that we're going to. So just over here. Now, we've got our TriRazor. So Gary, is it normal for the TriRazor to make a ripping noise as it's cutting the hair? Not a ripping noise, but it will, if you're doing it on dry hair, you can feel a little bit of tension on certain textures. So what I like to do is either just do one little spray. So Gary, this is a good little tip here. If I'm going to cut dry hair, I know this isn't technically dry hair, but if I just spray like a couple little sprays onto it, that dries up pretty quickly, but it also adds a little bit of glide. Another thing that I like to do is spray a little detangling spray on it, and like this restyling mist from Paul Mitchell. I can spray that on there, and doesn't really have a hold, so it doesn't get weird at all on the hair, but it gives a nice little slip as well. So those are a couple. It's a little more conditioning than just water. Started using cutting lotion. Steven, that's a good call. Cutting lotions are good. Same concept. So here we go, just above the eyebrow. And I'm assuming, Gary, that you're talking about with a fresh blade, yeah? So here's a good way to do this. If they've got thick hair, then you take the 25 texture side, you zoom in. You take the 25 texture side, which is right here, and first I go from the start of the eyebrow to the edge of the eyebrow. That's kind of a nice little rule there. So start of the eyebrow to the edge of the eyebrow. One little kick. Now, that takes out 25% of the hair. Now I go to the edge of the eyebrow, and I can do my 100 cutting side across. So you see the texture, you see all the different lengths. When I comb this over, that'll give me a little kick. It'll open up the face. Do the same thing on the side. Then I'll style it for you guys. And this, like, if it feels a little bit long, this I sectioned a little bit further down. You can always cut into that, and I'll show you guys that in a second. All right. Next one. Drop down this side. Clip this away. So again, over. Over here. Start of the eyebrow, 25 texture. 25 over to the edge. That takes out 25%. Now I'll just go through 100, pass it down, and there we go. So now I'll let down both sides. I'm going to hit it with an iron like I did before. So you can see, Scissor and TriRazor both easy and good ways to go about it. Just depends on what you're looking for. And if you had fine hair, you don't have to do the 25 texture. You just cut through it. So it's really up to you guys and your client's hair what you choose to do. That was like I just literally plastered her fringe to her head. Oh. This girl's got no prep. No prep. Hang on. Look at that flow. All right. So one thing I want to do is, she needs a little bit more life in this cut, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is what I was telling you guys about before, which is take up some of this from the side here. And I'm actually going to go 50%, just kind of back and forth, because the 50% gives me a little more textured edge. So it doesn't cut it all at once. But if you use the 50 enough, it texturizes it. So you can see kind of how it pops some more texture in there. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Over to me, 50. Got through it. Technically, what I would have loved to call that is a dry cutting side, because it exposes more blades. You can see how it easily, I can just use even the corner of it to remove some of that weight. I know it's interface internet. Give me a sec. So I use the 50 as my dry cutting blades. It's mostly what I choose to use it for, because 50% is a lot of weight to take out when you're cutting a line in a haircut. So if you're not trying to take out all of it, you see how soft that is. Now let me get a little spray in there. Soft shine spray. Shine spray doesn't have any hole in it, but I like to give it a little bit of that first. We'll do a little spray wax. Isn't that a fun fringe? It just whips one way. She's got a good old calic. All right. How do you fix a calic? Heat. Heat and water. Water breaks down bonds. And then heat reforms the bonds when it cools. So add that in now. This is for now and future. If you made it this far in the video, type "made it" in the comments because I'm impressed. Good job. Good job to all of you. Wish you could cut my hair. So you can see that softened that calic down. Iron across the face like we talked about before. Same thing here. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Thanks, guys. Still here, Ellen. Awesome. Maybe he can do 2 hours. Can't do 2 hours. I have a client coming in. Okay. All right. That's nice and smooth. Still in our eyes. Get it, internet. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate it. Comb that back. Comb this side back. Let's get it out of her face. That's better. And Jan's like, I couldn't drive with that covering my eye like that halfway. It's okay. So what do we think? Do your client live. Yeah, not this time, but maybe one of these days I will. Sure. Very cool. This is so relaxing to me. Awesome. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll just jump on here live and just do relaxing things on there. Just cut hair super slow for you guys. What do you think? All right, let's see. I'm glad it's relaxing. That's what it's all about. She's a beauty. Thanks, Roller. Appreciate it. Nashville retired hairstylist Judy, welcome to the show. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Kelly. Layered a shag cut. Yeah, it's not really, the one I just did isn't quite a shag, but you could do what I did a little bit shorter and it would be in the shag family, I think. Like it from a short pixie, for sure. So number one tool to use, obviously, is a scissor. Number two tool is this TriRazor. It's super fun to cut hair with. $44.95 on our online store. If you guys look at right here, let me show you our website. So if you go to freesaloneducation.com, you refresh the page. Oops, wrong one. When you go to freesaloneducation.com, cool thing is you sign up for free, create a profile, and then as you browse through, you can watch all of our old classes, the ones that we've done recently, and then you can see this schedule for all of the classes that we're doing now. You can click to join them. It's super cool. And then when you get logged in, you join our community. You download the app. So you go to the either Google Play or App Store. Download FSE now. When you download the app, you create a profile just like Instagram or anything like that. Once you're signed up, you're part of our community. And you can start posting your photos and different things and start following different hairdressers. And, you know, it's just a really fun community. We have 15,000 people on there now. I'd like for everybody to get more active on there. I would really appreciate that. And just start building the community up. If you want to get a TriRazor, then go to Shop FSE. You can either get to it from Free Salon Education by clicking these little dots here and going to Shop, or just go to shopfse.com and you can shop for the TriRazor, which is what I use today. And you can see right there, tons of cool tools. We've got combs, we got clips, we got our Velcro clips, which I wanted to use today. I didn't have them with me. And just tons of different things. And also scissors. So Mizutani scissors, if you're looking to purchase those, we have payment plans available. So you put half down and then you pay the rest over a few payments. So they're not cheap, but they're the best there is. So definitely go check out everything we have to offer on freesaloneducation.com. And don't forget to go to minervabeauty.com if you're looking for salon equipment. They're friends. They've been a part of this community for a very long time, supported Free Salon Education for a long time, so help support them if you need salon equipment. They're the best. All right, so is the razor okay to use on coarse hair? For sure. So I think it's all about prepping the hair, and it's all about using a brand new blade, right? So these blades are super strong. Let me see if I can show you. I know I can show you guys one. Let's see if I can do it quick. So these are the blades for the TriRazor right here. They have this backbone on them. The same blades that you would use for like the carving comb, right, that we use forever. Same type of blade. It's a feather blade, and it also has a solid backing on it. So what that does is it helps keep the blade nice and strong. And when the blade is strong, it cuts through the hair even better. So we have that, and then when you put it in our encasement, which is the TriRazor here, once you put it in this, it makes the blade even stronger, and you cut right at the blade in the design. So you get a really nice cut to the hair. Wet hair, it glides right through, should glide right through. Dry hair, sometimes, depending if it's coarse texture or not, you may want to do the tips that I talked about today, which is cutting lotion or spraying on conditioner, like a detangling spray, just a light one, or a little bit of water, and you should be good. Put a little conditioner in water, make your own cutting lotion. You know, you can do that as well. My Samvia shears have been through hell. Time for new ones. Thank you. I've been looking. They're the best. I mean, Mizutani, I would love to come out with my own scissor. I mean, I partnered with them and we created this guy, or really it's a silver version. They sent me this as a gift, but it's a silver version of this scissor. I partner with them because nobody makes scissors like them that I've found yet. So I could make a cheap scissor very easily. Like most scissor manufacturers, I could go get it done cheap and sell them, but I just don't feel good about that. So so you want to make sure you have a good scissor. Mizutani scissors are the way to go. All right. Q, leave the backbone on the blade when inserting. Yes, for sure. So the backbone, so when you take this casing off, the backbone is right here, and it locks in. So there's little grooves. So when you put the blade in, you got to have the backbone in there, and it'll kind of lock into it. And then you put the top on, you snap the two corners in there, and then you snap the top on, and you're good to go, ready to cut. Kiki's, I'm not sure if Kiki's mad about my length of the bangs, but I told you, the internet, they get upset. You can cut them shorter always. So, like, if you see bangs and you're like, I love them, but they're too long, you just cut them shorter and you're good. Popped in late, but I saw the bangs part on. This razor is pretty nifty. Mizutanis are my favorite. Sweet. I use it often. Thanks, Rainbow. Appreciate it. All right, cool. I think we're all good, guys. I appreciate all of you guys being on here live, being a part of the FSE community. Again, go to freesaloneducation.com to join, to be a part of it if you're not already. Make sure you subscribe to all of our channels, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, everything at Free Salon Education, and TikTok, I guess. I'm trying to post on there more. But you can see all of the versions of all these classes, everything that we do on our app, FSE Now. So make sure you download it. Yes, we do ship all over the world. So if you're in the UK, it doesn't matter where you are, we probably ship to you. Just go to our online store, purchase. I think shipping worldwide is $15. So unfortunately, you got to charge a little bit for that because we're shipping it from the US. But other than that, it's worth it. It's a flat fee of $15 and you get a TriRazor. All right. Thank you, Rainbow. Appreciate it. Linda, thank you. Natasha, thank you. You guys are awesome. Again, I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, Brian's class tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're going to highlight some short hair, have a lot of fun together on Zoom. So if you want to be a part of it, you got to go to freesaloneducation.com and sign up. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the next video.
Try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through. My hand, I know Morning like, oh, I just wanna be your Superman. Come fly with me, just take my hand. And now that we are cruising in mid-flight, you better watch out for the kryptonite.